Hello. I don't know. I should have tested my mic. Okay, it's working. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I've just been I've been gone from BookTube for like 2 weeks, and I wanted to do a live just to see how everyone was doing. I hope you're all doing well. Now that it's summer, I'm really, really excited because I can start making a lot more videos. And yeah, what are you guys reading? I think there's a couple of you here. Hi, everyone. Hello. Um, yeah. Um, Also, I've been approved for a bunch of different arcs. So yeah, what are you guys reading? I want to know. Alex is reading Assassin's Quest. Wonderful. I've been really enjoying what reading your reactions to this book. Assassin's Quest is one of my favorite books of all time. And yeah, which is, if you didn't know, it's the last book in the Farseer trilogy. And yeah. Oh, also Michael is reading Assassin's Apprentice, another lots of oops, lots of Robin Hobb. And oh, I've heard a lot of good things about this book. I don't know what it's about, but I've seen a lot of booktubers are reading it. That's exciting. Network Effect, I really enjoyed Network Effect. It's a really good book, and I love how much we get to know Murderbot in this book, and just his Murderbot's monologue in Network Effect is so good. Lord of Chaos. Are you reading it for the first time? That's a lot of fun. I haven't read any Joe Abercrombie, but I really want to get to Joe Abercrombie one day. I'm like super. Oh no. Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned this, and I totally want to read Persephone Station now, it's like a sci-fi cyberpunk novel, and it sounds super interesting. And yeah, I Words of Radiance is the last Stormlight Archive book I read, and it was really good. But I want to return to Stormlight Archive soon. I just need to finish Mistborn Era 1 eventually. A Shadow in the Summer by Daniel Abraham. Oh, is that part of the Dagger and the Coin series? I bought the first book for that series because of Jimmy, and I'm really excited to read it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Maybe this summer. That's one of the books I want to get to this summer. I just finished The Hod King, actually. I'm going to be filming my series review for The Tower of Babel. Well, actually, the series review for all the books that are out so far. And yeah, The Hod King was really good. Well, not really good, but I enjoyed it for the most part. And I think that the ending of The Hod King was really, really fantastic. So yeah, I can't wait for the last book in the series too. I think it's gonna be good. Network Effect is the novel. It's not the newest one. It's this second newest one. The newest one is called Fugitive Telemetry. Yeah, Stan Murderbot. Is this by Neil Stevenson? Um, or is it? Let me look it up. Oh yeah, it is. I read Cryptonomicon by Neil Stevenson. Like, I don't know. I think it was in high school, and it was really good. And I want to read more Stevenson soon. But if you haven't read Cryptonomicon, it is so good. It's like this really crazy novel set in. There's like three separate timelines. There's like a World War II timeline, and Alan Turing is a character in it, and it's about like crypt like encryption and all of that. It's really, I really don't know how to describe it. It's actually crazy how many things are going on in that novel. But yeah, if you haven't read Cryptonomicon, it's really good. And yeah, I haven't read Anathem, so I want to get to that one eventually. But yeah, I hope you I hope you're all doing well. Um, Hi, Steffi. Oh yes, there's so many people reading Wheel of Time for the first time, and it's so exciting. I've been really enjoying everyone who's in the Discord who's been sharing their thoughts on the books for the first time. It's been so fun, and yeah, I really want to start reread for before the show comes out, and yeah, reading everyone's like first time reactions has been just a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm currently reading. Oh, it's a question. What are my top audiobooks I've ever listened to? So I just started reading audiobooks, listening to audiobooks this year because of the library. And so far, I really enjoyed A Wizard of Earthsea. I loved listening to that as an audiobook, and I highly recommend it. I think that the narrator for A Wizard of Earthsea was also the same narrator for the Lord of the Rings audiobooks, and I kind of want to check out the Lord of the Rings audiobooks because of the narrator. And yeah, I think A Wizard of Earthsea is really good. Oh, of course, Murderbot is fantastic as an audiobook, and I think it's so much better because the narrator has such good comedic timing. I highly recommend it. And yeah, oh, yeah, my favorite character in Wheel of Time is Egwene, and yeah, she's my favorite. Um, Hi, sorry, my neighbors are visiting. Oh my god. Um, Sorry, I got distracted by my mom. But yeah, I'm currently reading Malazan Book 3, Memories of Ice, and it's really good. I just finished part 2, so yeah, I'm having a lot of fun working my way through Malazan so far. And let me catch up on the chat. Yes, oh yes, I wanted to talk about Wheel of Time, the recent there's been so many different drops, but not really. Like there's just been a ton of like random drops that weren't actually supposed to happen, which is crazy. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the recent drops? What are your guys' takes on that? Um, yeah, I think the Moraine one was kind of disappointing because we accidentally saw the Trollocs, and I was like, I really wanted to wait until the show came out to see the Trollocs, or at least like an actual good, like shot of them in the trailer. And hopefully they look much better in the show. And I think Rafe Judkins said that they're like that was like raw footage and it wasn't actually supposed to be released. So that's good. At least it won't look like that in the show, I think. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for the Wheel of Time TV show. Oh yeah, for sure. I think that the narrator is like it's almost like a performance. It's kind of like an adaptation in a way, but not really because it's literally just a book, but I think that a really good audiobook reader can yeah, definitely elevate the story to a different level. Yeah. I made a whole video about this, but I really hope that they make changes. And I was listening to, or not listening, I was reading a quote by Denis Villeneuve, who is the director for the Dune book. And he talks about how, like, in order to adapt something, you really need to make changes faithfully. There, he said it much more eloquently, but he said that, like, in order to adapt something, you really do need to change it. And I agree with that a lot, especially when it's something like Wheel of Time. Yeah, I know. I felt kind of sad too. I feel like, especially with Maureen's outfit, I think everyone was kind of scrambling because it looked not that great, and they were like, everyone was like, I really, yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh yeah, I feel like people are going to be disappointed because like the show definitely can't just be geared towards fans. It like Amazon has millions of subscribers, like Amazon Prime has millions of subscribers, and a large majority of them probably haven't heard of the show before. So yeah, like the show won't be geared towards fans most likely, but that doesn't mean it will be bad, you know? Yeah. Something I'm curious about is like how will they like lean into the Game of Thrones comparisons, or like will they try to from the get-go like set their own tone and like try to be their own thing? And yeah, that's something I'm really curious about because like all the teasers so far, I think we've talked about this, have been like very fan servicey, and they're definitely for the fans. So I'm curious like when the show like actually starts marketing, like will they, what direction will they take? And it'll be really exciting. Yeah, that's true. I think there's like 2,000 named characters in Wheel of Time, so there definitely there's gonna be changes. It's just a fact. Oh, okay. I haven't seen a lot of HBO shows, and the last HBO show I watched was what was it called? Oh, Lovecraft County. Oh my God, I just said a bad word. Count, County, and yeah, that it was. I watched like half of it, and then I feel like it started derailing pretty fast. And like the first episode was really good of Lovecraft Country, and then like as it went on, it definitely went down in quality. So yeah, I've never heard of the Nevers though. It's sad that it's sad that it's not good. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think I saw a tweet recently that that like the public there was rumors that they were going to make like the Wheel of Time covers for the books, and I'm so excited for that. I can't wait to buy my Rosamund Pike Eye of the World variant. It's going to be so good. And yeah, I know a lot of people don't like when shows or like movies make their own covers, like the movie covers, but I'm kind of excited for it for Wheel of Time because like no offense to Daryl K. Sweet, but those covers they're kind of sus. Oh, HBO Max has Studio Ghibli. I just watched Howl's Moving Castle last week on Thursday, and it was really good. I haven't seen a ton of Studio Ghibli movies. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? 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 But yeah, I really enjoyed Howl's Moving Castle. It was a lot of fun. I watched it with a bunch of people in my Discord, and it was really good. I think the only other Studio Ghibli movie I've seen is Only Yesterday, which is like this. It's just like the sweetest movie ever. It's about this girl who, like, she moves to a farm and she lives in the city, and it's just about her like realizing that she hates living in the city, and then she decides to become a farmer. And um, there's like a really sweet romance in it, and yeah, that's I love that movie. And Howl's Moving Castle was so good. Every single frame in that movie was gorgeous, and I'm really excited to watch more actually. I know, I read about this, which is so disappointing because I mean, Wizard of Earthsea is like the perfect movie for a Studio Ghibli adaptation. And the fact that it's supposedly terrible is just heartbreaking. Um, Yeah. I don't know why it's bad though. So I'm still gonna watch it, but like I don't know why it's bad and it scares me. I think I watched Kiki's Delivery Service when I was a kid, but I don't really remember it. So I want to rewatch it. What are your guys' favorite Studio Ghibli films? I want to know. Oh yes, this is true. If we're gonna be watching the rest of the Ghibli collection together, so join the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, there should be a link in uh, not in the description, but if you go on my page, in the links on the left side or the right side, there's a Discord invite, so you guys can come join. I've heard this movie is really sad. um, Porco Rosso, Nausicaa. Yeah, I'm excited to watch the rest of the Ghibli films with everyone. Okay, here's a question. If you could choose the next Studio Ghibli adaptation, what fantasy book would you choose to be adapted? Personally, maybe I would have them redo the A Wizard of Earthsea movie so that they could do it right this time. Um, Warbreaker. I think Warbreaker would be an interesting adaptation. Um, I I don't know. Does Ghibli do like more adult films? Because I feel like Warbreaker might be a little too adult, but especially with all the colors and everything, that would be gorgeous as an adaptation, animated. Princess Mononoke. I'm excited. I think I know the plot of Mononoke, and it's like about this girl who was raised by wolves, right? I think I'll enjoy it. Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. Yeah, I think any like hero's journey sort of fantasy would be great as like an animated Ghibli Ghibli show. Oh, they have a few PG-13 movies. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think of another one. Maybe Farsi or Trilogy would be really good as a Ghibli adaptation. I feel like all the animals and like I don't know, I think it would be and all the food that Robin Hobb describes would be so good um animated. I'm just I'm getting hungry thinking about it. Sorcery of Thrones. Oh, I've never heard of this book. Sorcery. I'm gonna Google it. Oh, the first thing that it says is full of slow burning romance. I love slow burn romance. Now I want to read this book. I've never heard of it before. And it's a standalone. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Oh yeah, House in the Cerulean Sea. I really want to read this book, and I've heard that it's like very like uplifting and happy, so that's perfect. And yeah, I think it would be yeah, I don't know how they would handle LGBTQ content, but hopefully they would do it justice. Redwall. Yeah, I've heard Redwall has a lot of good food scenes in it too. I don't think I've ever read any Redwall though. Or if I have, it was like a long time ago when I was in elementary school and I didn't remember it. The Forever Sea. Oh, I've never heard of this book either. Let's see. Let's look it up. Oh, it says environmental epic fantasy. That's very interesting. I love fantasy that takes on like environmentalism. I think that's a huge theme in a lot of fantasy books is environmentalism, and it's such a great genre to explore it because I feel like you can be very metaphysical with it, and I think it works really well. Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I read Uprooted by Naomi Novik, and even though I didn't particularly enjoy that book all that much, I think that it would make a fantastic adaptation, especially animated. I think it would be gorgeous. Animation is the best medium for fantasy movies and TV. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I would. I think that. Yeah, I think that a lot of people don't like animation because it has kind of like a connotation to it that it would that it's like that it's like for kids and a lot of adult fantasy. I think if you were to animate it, I think it would turn off a lot of people for that reason. But yeah, I agree. I think animation is like kind of underrated when it comes to adapting things. When do we think the Wheel of Time trailer will drop? Honestly, I don't know when it's gonna drop. I think a lot of people are saying that it'll drop soon because of just like I don't know. I'm hearing like everything from like it's gonna drop soon to it's gonna drop in like September. So I honestly don't know. I'm just I'm just waiting. I don't particularly have a preference for it to drop soon or later, but I'm just excited. The Avatar Kyoshi novels. I've only seen the first season of Avatar, and I really do need to watch more of that show because it was fantastic. But yeah, that would be interesting. The Lions of Alrasan by Guy Gavriel Kay. Ooh, interesting. I have Tigana by Guy Gavriel Kay, and it's really hyped, and I want to get to it eventually. Um, yeah, that's. Is this a standalone? Because I know Tigana is a standalone, so I'm not sure. A Song of Ice and Fire does the best allegory on climate change. Well, that's interesting. I haven't read A Song of Ice and Fire, but I've seen the show, and I guess when I think about it, yeah, it does. It is kind of a really good allegory for climate change. Um, yeah, that's interesting. I know a lot of like, I mean, even Lord of the Rings has kind of like a commentary on industrialism, and I mean, Howl's Moving Castle that we were just talking about was obviously very much critical of like industrialization and all of that. So yeah, I mean, I think so much of fantasy has that element of like critiquing, modernization and just this like melancholy for like the natural world, I guess, if that makes sense. And I mean, A Wizard of Earthsea too has a lot of, I mean, A Wizard of Earthsea is more of like a, it's more of like glorifying, not glorifying, romanticizing like the natural world, and it's less of like, a critique. But I haven't read the whole series, so I don't know what happens later on. But I mean, the first book at least was very much like an ode to the natural splendor of, the world. I don't see the others as much of an environmental parallel outside of them. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I think that you could make the argument, but obviously I haven't read the books. So, Oh, it's a standalone, but it shares universe with the other books of Guy Gabriel Kay. Well, that's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, I think Kay is an author I really need to get into. Oh yeah, speaking of standalones, I got accepted for the arc for A Witness for Peace by Catherine Addison, and I'm so excited. I talked about her novel, The Goblin Emperor, in one of my videos, and it's fantastic. If you guys haven't read The Goblin Emperor, it's really good, and it's like a very political thriller type book, and it's about this character who he's like seventh in line for the throne, and then all of his brothers and the king or the emperor end up dying, and yeah, and then he like all of a sudden has to become the emperor, and it's really good, and I'm super excited for this new book because it's not a sequel, but it is like a standalone in the same universe. So if you haven't read The Goblin Emperor, you can still jump in and read A Witness for Peace. But yeah, and I mean, it's not out yet, but yeah, I'm excited to read the advanced reader copy for it. What about you guys? What are some books on your TBR that you're really excited for? My TBR is miles long. So right now I'm just like focusing on finishing Memories of Ice, and I will probably start House of Chains like right after because I bought it. And yeah, I hopefully maybe I'll just focus on Malazan this summer and maybe finish it this summer. Now that I've said it, I won't do it, but yeah, Malazan is going to be a big thing for me this summer, and then all the arcs that I kind of went a little crazy on NetGalley and requested a bunch of arcs, and I didn't expect to be accepted, or and now like I just got accepted for a bunch of them, so I have to work my way through those. But um yeah, Red Rising, honestly, Red Rising is one of those series that I hear a lot about, and I'm just like, I kind of don't want to read it. Like nothing, I've heard there's like, I think I watched one review, and I think it was by Michael Nip that actually made me interested in it, but I've heard that it's like adult Hunger Games, and I don't know, I'm just not into that, but maybe if Jimmy likes it, I will read it. Wow, this is basically my TBR minus Wheel of Time, and all of Cosmere and Malazan is my TBR right now. Um, I mean, my plans are just to review the books as I read them. I was wondering, I don't know if I should keep doing like spoiler-free reviews, because as the series goes on, it's going to be kind of hard to like keep reviewing the books spoiler free. So I might just do spoilery reviews for all of the books here on out. But yeah, I'm really excited to work my way through Malazan. And I mean, Memories of Ice has been really good. I mean, really good. I think it addresses a lot of the problems that people have with the first two books, and it's a lot tighter, and there's just so much going on in this book. So yeah, Malazan is definitely getting really good, and I was already enjoying it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a thing with a lot of fantasy books is like everyone's always like, oh, the first book kind of sucks, but then the rest of the series is worth it. And then like when you have a really long TBR, which everyone does, it's always the question of like, is it worth it to sit through that first book and spend time on it when you could just be reading a series that is like already good? You know what I mean? Like you always have to do that kind of cost benefit analysis. Uh-oh, I lost my place in the chat. Oh, I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, Memories of Ice is so good so far. Poppy War is also very good, and I need to catch up on that series. I've only read the first book, And I own The Dragon Republic on Kindle, so that's another series I want to catch up on this summer. And now that it's finished, I think I actually will like just sit down and read the last two books in the trilogy since it is finished. But yeah, Live Ship, Starless Sea. That's a lot of books. I want to read Gideon the Ninth so bad. Um, yeah, is Killing Commendador? Is that Haruki Murakami? I don't know. This is an author I want to read too. Oh my god. I think I own The Black God's Drums. Clara, my Discord mod, read it and she's loved it. So that's a book I'm looking forward to as well. Oh yeah, we're doing Color of Magic group read. Oh no, I locked my computer. Oh, yeah, we're doing Color of Magic next month by Terry Pratchett for the Discord group read. So if you want to come read that with us. Yeah, I think Deadhouse Gates is, I mean, I already enjoyed Gardens of the Moon, but I think Deadhouse Gates is a much better novel and it's much more cohesive as a book. So I think that Eric, and I'm pretty sure that Erickson took like, there was like an 8 or 9 year gap between Gardens of the Moon and Deadhouse Gates. So you can really tell the maturity in Erickson's writing in Deadhouse Gates. Dresden Files is a series that I don't know if I'm not sure if I ever will finish it, but yeah, there's just a lot of things about the Dresden Files that I don't enjoy, but at the same time, I love the atmosphere of it and I love like urban fantasy. And I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get around to it, but whenever I see other people enjoying it, I'm happy for them. So good for you, CLB. What? Assassin's Apprentice is not meh. It's such a good book. Come on. I don't know. Assassin's Apprentice is really good. And it is like slow, so to speak, but I mean, it's so. I don't think that Farseer is slow. I think that it is meditative. You know, there's a lot of like internal monologue that goes on, and it's, yeah, I don't know. I just like, I feel like slow is such a lazy criticism for a series. You know, like there's so much else going on is aside from the plot in Assassin's Apprentice that I love. So yeah, I definitely disagree with that statement, that people say that it's meh, but yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, last year I read Haruki Murakami's memoir, what I talk about when I talk about running, and I've been wanting to read more Murakami ever since. And I loved I loved Norwegian Wood. Well, actually, I don't know if I loved it, but I loved parts of it. And I think that I mean, he's a really fantastic writer just in general. But yeah, maybe I will read that too eventually. Ooh, I love a good villain. That's actually really exciting. Um, I think villains are probably my favorite aspect of any series. Like, I think that, I mean, take Robin Hobb, for example, just because we were talking about her, but I think that her villains are always so like visceral and you really, I don't know, you really get to hate them really, really a lot. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think villains can just make a series so much better if they're good. Ooh. I'm gonna say Farseer because honestly, Mistborn is not like it's good, but it's not on the level as Farseer. It's not on the same level as Farseer. I definitely would say start Farseer instead of Mistborn because I tried I tried starting Wells of Ascension and I just couldn't do it. It was so not good. And I'm sorry to any Sanderson fans in here. But yeah, I would definitely say start Farseer. Oh no, what is this slander? Go read Robin Hobb. She's the one of the best fantasy writers alive right now. Um, yeah, I can't believe this slander. I mean, that's true. It is less of a commitment. Um, I mean, I guess it depends on what what you're in the mood for. Yeah, I mean, Mistborn is a good entry point into Wheel of Time, from what I've heard. Obviously, I'm not a Sanderson expert, but I think that there's, whoa, that is a weird comment. Please don't comment weird things. Um, I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, Mistborn is a good place to get into Sanderson, and that's the reason why I stopped reading Words of Radiance, and then I went back to Mistborn, and yeah, Heroes of Agents superficial. Yeah, I think Sanderson definitely matures as a writer, and you can tell the difference between Stormlight and Mistborn. So yeah, it's probably not his best work, but hi Peter, how's it going? Yeah, I agree with um the Marvel what's the word? Comparison. The Marvel comparison is very apt. Yeah, I mean, Hobb is just on a level of her own. Like her characters are fantastic and like her writing is just so singular in the genre. Like I cannot recommend Robin Hobb enough. Yeah, I mean, Farseer is in first person, but it's one of the best first person. Like, I think to me, it is like the defining first person perspective novel. Like, I compare all other fantasy written in the first person to Farseer. Like, it's that good. And I mean, I guess one of the closest things to it is probably King Killer Chronicles, which is also a fantastic first person. But I mean, Farseer is better to me because I think Fitz as a character is a better than Quoth as a character. Just in general, I think that Fitz is better written. But yeah, I mean, Robin Hobb is like the defining writer for me when it comes to first person. Ooh, the King. Speaking of the King Killer Chronicles, I haven't heard of Snakewood, but that's an interesting title. Yeah. Oh, that's a hot take. Have you read Farseer? Have you read King Killer? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Oh yeah, the fifth season. That is such a good point. The fifth season is a fantastic first person novel. Um, and it's very much its own thing also. I think that N.K. Jemisin is like well, the fifth season, I think it also has other elements to it that make it very unique. But yeah, the fifth season is another fantastic example of first person done really well. pirate book. Or yeah, the Live Ship Traders trilogy is fantastic, and it's not in first person. So if you don't like first person, I wouldn't recommend reading Live Ship out of order before you read Farseer. But I mean, you can give it a try. You might enjoy it. Oh wait, oh wait, yeah, it's. I mean, it's second person. It's not first person. Is it first? My brain is short circuiting. I can't remember if it's first person or not. I mean, there are parts of it that are second person, so it's like you doing the thing, and I can't remember if the I don't know. I don't know, but just read the fifth season. It's really good. I haven't read Malice. I was supposed to read it last month, and then school got in the way. Um, yeah, I have it, and I will read it eventually, but I haven't read it yet. Out of order. I have cried real tears over Farseer, so if you don't want to feel emotions, you probably shouldn't read Farseer. I cried more during the Tawny Man trilogy, which is the third trilogy in the overarching series. And yeah, I was literally sobbing while I was reading it. So if that's not something you're into, I would avoid it. Oh yeah, Murderbot is fantastic first person. I think that if you're more a fan of like regular, or not regular, but like more general, like epic fantasy that has like multiple points of view and like a lot of political intrigue and like magic and all of that, I think that you might like Life Ship more. But I personally think that Farseer is just genre defining in how good it is, and it's just like a very intimate character study, and they're just two different things. Um, yeah. No, I haven't. I have Jade. Is it Jade War? Jade Legacy? Jade City. Jade City. I have the first book, and I do want to read it. So, Ehrlich. Ooh, J.R. Oh, interesting. I was watching Philip Chase and Andy Smith talk about Beowulf, and I wanted to get into that. I think it'd be really interesting to read Beowulf just as a fantasy fan, because I know that it's like one of the oldest fantasy works ever written, or maybe passed down orally. So yeah, that's really interesting. Um, yeah, I agree. I mean, you should just try it. Like, just try it and see what you think, because I think it is just one of the best books in the fantasy genre ever written. And you know what really makes me mad is the fact that Robin Hobb, I was just thinking about this like the other day, but Robin Hobb was totally snubbed for the Times 100 magazine list thing. And that I can't believe they did that. Like, the more I think about it, the more mad I get. Like, I can't believe they snubbed Robin Hobb. Um, but yeah, I also love crying when I'm reading. It's so much fun. It's so cathartic to cry over fictional things. I cried while reading Sort of Kaigen so much, and it was like the best feeling ever. But yeah, I don't know how long I've been going. Oh, it's been 40 minutes. Um, that's really funny. I highly recommend Sword of Kaigen. It's so good. Come on. It's like one of the best self-pub books I've ever read. Um, it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Oh yeah. Lifeship has certain like tie-ins to Farseer that you won't understand if you haven't read Farseer, so I would definitely read it before. But I mean, it it's not as bad as if you like read Tawny Man trilogy before Farseer. Like it's not that bad. But I would still recommend reading them in order. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I love it when series just like hit it out of the park. Um, yeah, I really want to read this series, especially because I heard that it's getting a TV show. So that's exciting. His Dark Materials. I read the first two books and I don't think I cried, but I did really enjoy them. And I think that I didn't like the show as much. I watched a couple episodes of the show and I was like not into it. Um, but also I didn't watch it like I didn't like sit down and binge it. So I feel like whenever I take a break from a show and I come back to it, I end up not enjoying it as much. But yeah, I think it was like production wise and like in terms of like technical um like stuff, it was really good, but I just wasn't vibing with it. But the books are fantastic. Oh, the third one? Yeah, I haven't read the third one yet. I think I have it though. The Amber Spyglass. Yeah, yeah. His Dark Materials is very metaphysical. That's very true. It goes into like really weird territory, but it's like it works, I think. And it's it's one of the more like I think it's one of the more ambitious series when it comes to the topics that it tackles and just the things that it deals with. Obviously, religion is like a very big topic to tackle, but I think it does it really well. Um, the pacing in Life Ship is very different. Like I said, it's very it's just its own thing. Even though it is connected to Farseer, it's definitely its own thing. So if you didn't like the pacing in Farseer, you will probably like it's much more fast paced in Life Ship. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna end the live stream now. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. I was a little awkward this time. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty, but thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, I'm really excited this summer. I'm gonna try to put out more videos. I want to put out 2 videos a week, but we'll see how that goes. So thanks so much for tuning in, y'all. Have a good day. Bye.